Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om
Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram,
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om 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 Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om Swamiji. Hari Om Swamiji.
For the past few days, Papa has been taking us as if he was taking a PhD class. But there is no escape from it. Because we have all been initiated into the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam. We have been given the necessary instructions as to what should be our perspective by chanting Ram Nam. But in spite of knowing all these things, though Ram Nam is going on at the outer level, we feel our progress towards Him, progress towards the awareness of His presence within Him, within us, is still far away. This is a very important thing. Purpose of chanting Ram Nam is to keep up constant God remembrance. That means His presence. So we are all now checking up for ourselves whether we are moving towards that goal. He says, in taking Ram Nam, you think you are taking the name of the deity living in some far-off heaven. But you are really repeating the name of your own immortal self, that is Atma Ram. You do not know that you are Ram. So you must ceaselessly remember Him until you are awakened to the consciousness that you are Ram yourself. How can you remove forgetfulness? By continuous remembrance of the Atman, until you know that you are the Atman. Suppose there is a purse containing money in your pocket and you have forgotten about it. When you recollect it, you put your hand in the pocket and it is there. So remembrance gives you awareness. It is already there. You were ignorant of it. You had forgotten about it. Forgetfulness can be removed by remembrance. Ignorance by awareness or knowledge. When we hear this, there is no doubt because purse is an object. The moment we have forgotten that object, we get tensed up. And again when we remember that object, we get joy. But still all the while, we should know it is an object. But here, Ramnam chanting. Now, just now you heard, you are chanting the name of your own self, capital S. That is Atma Ram. You do not know that you are Ram. So you must ceaselessly remember him until you are awakened to the consciousness that you are Ram yourself. Even for the past 2-3 days, here also we were discussing. Why is it that we have not been able to keep up this constant God remembrance? Because our mind is trained to remember objects, anything other than us, which we have forgotten, which we will try to forget. Suppose you say something about some words of some masters or some poem. Immediately, we do some digging and then finally we come out and we are very happy. It is stored in some files inside. So the forgetfulness is overcome by remembrance. We are trying to apply the same norms to Ramnam. We are applying the same norm to know that God remembrance. That is the struggle we are having. Kindly think about it. When Papa keeps on harping this, that this constant remembrance is necessary, and Ramnam helps us to reach that stage. So constant remembrance of what? Constant remembrance of the self which is now telling, which is striving to dwell on constant remembrance. So it is purely a subjective subject. So unless the manana goes on, it will be difficult to capture the meaning. We don't know whether we have made it clear. When he says we must have constant God remembrance, normally our mind can understand remembrance with reference to an object. That means anything other than us. We have defined our remembrance on those lines. That is why we still, the moment we hear remembrance, we try to develop some concept about God or something and try to achieve it. We don't reach anywhere. If at all we reach through any of our concepts, it is not staying with us. Any Ishtadevata, for example, chosen deity whom we adore, rest of the time we may not be conscious of it. During our bhajan activities, worship activities, or what you call, when we go there, when we have the darshan, very much there. Afterwards, what happens? We are back to ourselves. Our cares, our worries, our tension, our anxieties, everything is intact. Though we claim ourselves to be the bhaktas of that Ishtadevata, we try to remember through hymns, slokas, so many things. Bhajans. At that time we find some joy, but immediately after that, think. This is something to be thought of. When he says, we used to share these thoughts here, friends here. Whenever when we started coming here almost on a regular basis, Pujya Swamiji made us to handle correspondence. So at that time, mostly in almost all letters, finally to lend, we pray for Birul Papa's blessings on you for his constant remembrance. We say HCR. When we say HCR, his constant remembrance, he is separate from us and we are trying to remember him. This is the normal norm. You would have typed out so many letters, hundreds and thousands of letters. But has it helped us to remember him constantly? No. Unless and until this clarity comes to our mind, that by the word remembrance, what he wanted was that we should become aware of our own self. This is what he clarifies in this. In taking Ram Nam, you think you are taking the name of the deity living in some far-off heaven, but you are really repeating the name of your own immortal self. That is Atma Ram. So you do not know that you are Ram. Ram is the mysterious power, you remember? You have defined Ram. In In Quest of God, before the chapter 1 begins, he has given an introductory article, message on who is Ram. He is love, he is truth, he is the goal of human perfection. This is the word. Hail, starts with that. And in that he says, Ram is the mysterious power, all pervading. He is nameless, formless, birthless, deathless, so many attributes. So here he says, you do not know that you are Ram. So you must ceaselessly remember him until you are awakened to the consciousness that you are Ram yourself. So the purpose of chanting Ram Nam has been clearly mentioned here. You must ceaselessly remember him until you are awakened to the consciousness that you are Ram yourself. How can you remove forgetfulness? By continuous remembrance of the Atman until you know that you are the Atman. So every time when we repeat Ram Nam, it may not be possible because we are not used to it. Chanting as a matter of course goes on. We become one with it, we enjoy it. So in between, when there is a pause, now we will try to bring these words of Papa. You are chanting the name of your own self. So you are repeating the name of your own immortal, infinite, eternal self. Do not take the name thinking that the name is of one who is far away from you, of one who is other than you. Know that you are taking your own name. Ram is synonym for self or Atman. You are already the self. You can be conscious of yourself by constantly remembering the self. Gradually the body consciousness leaves you and you attain jnana, which means knowledge of the self. You cannot realize the all-comprehensive being of God unless you attain jnana. That is the basis for knowing God as both Purusha and Prakriti. This grants you the vision of the world Leela in the state of Parabhakti. Bhakti is the root, Vairagya is the trunk, Jnana is the flower, Parabhakti is the fruit. In Parabhakti, Purusha and Prakriti are realized as one. Here Prakriti is not Mithya. God not only pervades the universe, but transcends it to infinity. Being all the world, he is still beyond all limitations and boundaries, limitless expanse of that divine existence. So what we have to free ourselves from is the illusion which makes us think we are the body. Then we will realize we are the Atman. So when we keep on hammering this idea to ourselves, that by chanting the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam, we are trying to understand our real being. Now, this is what he said, okay? But elsewhere, in the vision of God, he says, reverting to the mode of life Ramdas was leading in the cave, Panchapandava cave. He would rise at about 3 o'clock early morning. That means he has come back from the first tour. Rukmabai mother, met him at the Siddhartha Swami's ashram in Hubli. She pleaded with the Swamiji to tell Papa to come back. Swamiji asked Papa to go along with them. Like a child, he obediently came up to Mangalore. On those days, the travel was by steamer. As soon as he got down, he went straight to Panchapandava. After 2 or 3 days only, he went to see Rukmabai and the child. Now, then he was back again to the cave. That's the background. Reverting to the mode of life Ramdas was leading in the cave, he would rise at about 3 o'clock early morning and run down directly to the water tank for bath. Nowadays nothing is there, or building. Though the path to the tank was rough and risky, he would not forgo his morning dip even in the darkest night. 3 o'clock, everybody is hearing. After bath, he would sit in asana for meditation till daybreak. For some days his meditation consisted of only the mental repetition of Rama Mantram. Then the Mantram having stopped automatically, he beheld a small circular light before his mental vision. This yielded him thrills of delight. This experience having continued for some days, he felt a dazzling light like lightning flashing before his eyes, which ultimately permeated and absorbed him. Now an inexpressible transport of bliss filled every pore of his physical frame. When this stage was coming on, he would at the outset become oblivious of his hands and feet, and then gradually his entire body. Lost in this trance state, he would sit for 2 or 3 hours. Still, a subtle awareness of external objects was maintained in this state. Some friends would pay him visit early in the morning when he was absorbed in the trance, and he had at the time a hazy recognition of their presence. He could hear sounds of talk, if any, mere sounds without sense or meaning for him. Whenever he fell into the trance, he would feel its grip. He would feel its grip so firmly that he could not easily shake it off. At the longest, it would not last for more than 3 hours. After returning to body consciousness, he would be engaged in singing to himself some hymns glorifying God, and also in the loud recitation of the mantram. In fact, except when conversing, reading or writing, he used to utter the mantram ceaselessly throughout the day. The trance experience brought about another change. Namely, sleep thereafter became a state of half-wakefulness or awareness, during which he was filled with pure ecstasy. Sometimes at dead of night, a friend would pay him a surprise visit. Although Ramdas was in a trance state, he could know the friend's approach even when he was at a furlong from the cave. It was during this time that Ramdas, as willed by the Lord, devoted 2 hours past midnight to the work of writing the book In Quest of God. The last days in the cave also saw the trance condition encroaching upon the hours of the day while no visitors were present. The utterance of the mantram would stop of itself and he would transcend the body consciousness. Here a unique experience is worthy of note. One morning he was standing inside the cave, gazing on the golden orb of the rising sun, and he felt the trance stealing over him, and very soon he was entirely absorbed in it. Some time passed. When he came back to the body idea, a casual downward glance disclosed to his view a serpent coiled round his right leg. That was his visitor coming at midnight. Its forked tongue was briskly licking his big toe. Ramdas was not affected by the sight. In the same motionless posture, he watched the loving attention of the serpent. A minute or two thus passed, and the reptile slowly unwound itself, crept out of the cave. He recollects to have addressed, "O beloved Ram, why art thou in such a hurry to go?" The Lord's Leela is really wonderful. All forms are His, and He plays in various ways. The serpent friend conceived such a great love for Ramdas that it would come to see him every morning consecutively for 3 days, after which it stopped for good. In accordance with a distinct command from the Lord within, he observed a vow of silence for 7 days. Despite the pressure of friends, he could not break it before the fixed time, for he felt he was quite helpless in this matter. Surely God had completely mastery over his servant. Ramdas had noted a patch of lepers underneath the banyan trees in the Mangalore Maidan. So how Ramnam led him, no? Every now and then when we go through his biographical sketch, this sadhana days, we need not jump into the conclusion that that is the way for us, no. But some clues he gives. Here the clue is from vocal chanting to mental chanting helps us to rise above the body consciousness. It is not an effort to rise above the body consciousness, it is an outcome of our sadhana. So we need not conceive that state and try to achieve that state. The Ramnam chanting, so we have devised now what sort of mental attitude we should develop. The clear-cut message is that it makes us to rise above our limited concept of ourselves. That is body consciousness. Puja Mataji used to often bring the word Dehabhuti. So when we are away from when we are slightly free from the Dehabhuti, even for a few seconds, that means we are back to our own self. So that is the purpose of Ramnam. So hereafter when we take up Ramnam, somewhere in the background, let this also be there. He said we are chanting the name of our own self. Our original nature. We gradually know now that we are not aware of that original nature because of the me and mine. So we are now trying, how do I get over this me and mine, body consciousness? That's why elsewhere he will say, Ramnam enables us to purify ourselves. So when we keep on praying, why are you not bestowing this? Why are you not doing? Probably he will remove all the dirt and make us to move from the finite to the infinite. That's why he has given his experience dazzling light. He beheld a small circular light before his mental vision. Puja Swamiji, the other day we left. Before coming to ashram, he had something similar to this. The light from the light of Atman, he has mentioned. He has mentioned the word light of Atman. So it came from and then started exploring, and then a feeling came that how what a small, tiny speck his body was. First thing he knew that he was not to confine himself within the body. And then he started expanding, and everything, every creation, everything was floating in it. So here he says, he held a small circular light before his mental vision. This yielded him thrills of delight. This experience having continued for some days, he felt a dazzling light like lightning flashing before his eyes, which ultimately permeated and absorbed him. Now an inexpressible transport of bliss filled every pore of his physical frame. When this stage was coming on, he would at the outset become oblivious of his hands and feet, and then gradually his entire body. First he said, you have been taking Ram Nam, you think you are taking the name of the deity living in some far off heaven. But you are really repeating the name of your own immortal self. So you must ceaselessly, you do not know that you are Ram. So you must ceaselessly remember him until you are awakened to the consciousness that you are Ram yourself. How can you remove forgetfulness? By continuous remembrance of the Atman until you know that you are the Atman. So do not take the name thinking that the name is of one who is far away from you, of one who is other than you. This is important. Still we can check up for ourselves. When we have been asked by Papa to remember God during chanting, still we feel that he is other than us. So in order that we get more clarity, he emphatically says, you are already the self. Do not take the name thinking that the name is of one who is far away from you, of one who is other than you. This particular word we should remember. Know that you are taking your own name. Ram is a synonym for self or Atman. You are already the self. You can be conscious of yourself by constantly remembering the self. Gradually the body consciousness leaves you. And you attain jnana, which means knowledge of the self. You cannot realize the all-comprehensive being of God unless you attain jnana. So this should be there as a bedrock, or the background. It should be there. When we say that it is a password, chanting is a password to enter into our own real mansion, then we must have all these things in our mind, And this state he experienced in Kadri cave, where even today when you go there, you will not be able to enter it so smoothly. Such is the entrance. Nothing is there. Now it is surrounded by roads, buildings, this and that. But 97 years back, it was fully a forest area. And there you are living alone. And 3 o'clock in the morning, without any light, he goes down the hill, has his bath, and then come back and sits. We are sitting comfortably in an ashram, and we want to achieve the same state when we hear this. Difference is that. So we have to devise our own. Two things today I think we should have pondered upon from this verse. One thing is that somehow we should make the goal to have this constant remembrance. And when we say constant remembrance, our mind should not be running after anything other than ourselves. If it is anything other than ourselves, it may give us some joy for that moment. When Surdas, when he was blind, he was a great Bhakta of Lord Krishna. So he used to come. So then one day, Krishna offered eyesight. He said, I don't want. Why, I may be seeing so many other things. I will not see you. I want to be in constant remembrance of you. We were having our own concept when we heard all these things. Two individuals, Surdas an individual, Lord Krishna an individual. There was some joy in it. Later on, when we read Papas and when we go deeply, we understand it is an inner dialogue between the sense of individuality with the indwelling self. It is difficult for us to understand that language, so in the form of Surdas, these words came out. So the reply he gave was, the moment you give me, the mind will get distracted. This one point will not be there. Here I am in close touch with you, communing with you only, exclusive. Singing His glories and everything. So there also we find exclusiveness. Exclusiveness paves the way for constant remembrance. So it is the toughest job because the subject is searching the subject. Subject is trying to remember the subject. Normally, subject is trying to remember an object. Here the subject is trying to remember the very subject. So it doesn't know the root. At the same time, there is an intense urge for the searching because the sense of individuality feels separate, absolutely separate from this. So, in order that we develop this attitude, he specifically mentioned this. In taking Ram Nam, you think you are taking the name of the deity living in some far off heaven. But you are really repeating the name of your own immortal self. That is Atma Ram. You do not know that you are Ram. So you must ceaselessly remember him until you are awakened to the consciousness that you are Ram yourself. How can you remove forgetfulness? By continuous remembrance of the Atman until you know that you are the Atman. So you are repeating the name of your own immortal, infinite, eternal self. Wow. Do not take the name thinking that the name is of one who is far away from you, of one who is other than you. Know that you are taking your own name. Ram is a synonym for self, for Atman. You are already the self. You can be conscious of yourself by constantly remembering the self. So what we have to free ourselves from this is the illusion which makes us think we are the body. He was telling this later, but he was giving his own experience in 1923-24 after he came back from the first itinerant tour. He was talking about the inner experience. There was another dialogue. The kind mother, Ramdas's wife in his old life, was laid up with fever for some days, owing to the strain of the journey by steamboat while accompanying him from Hubli to Mangalore. He was visiting her once in every 2 or 3 days until she recovered. During one of the visits, the reputed sage of Puttur, Krishna Rao, was in the house. He came to where Ramdas sat beside the ailing mother. At the sight of him, Ramdas prostrated at his feet. He sat down. He asked, was it necessary that you should have entirely renounced the householder's life and taken up the Diksha of Sannyas? Ram willed it so. Ramdas could not help it. Ramdas replied, your Ram must then be wonderful. May I know where he is? He is residing in the hearts of us all because he is all-pervading. To the other person, I cannot see him. How can we know that it is his will that guides us? Papa, he is invisible to the ordinary eye, but can be seen through a purified vision. Only when you see him, you realize that it is his will that directs your actions. This is another clue for all of us. Normally we say, Papa prompted us. Papa gave me this thought. As if other thoughts are given by somebody, So we can really say that only when you see him, you realize that it is his will that directs your actions. Freedom from attachment and complete surrender to him are the conditions for the supreme vision. Krishna Rao said, I cannot fully understand what you say. I believe that worldly life need not be abandoned in order to realize God. Papa said, true. Ramdas still belongs to the world, not in the partial sense, but in totality. His beloved is not only in particular persons, but is discovered to be residing in all his power and glory, in all beings, in all creatures, in all things. So that is why he was not using probably the first person. For us it is the toughest, because so far we have been thinking, we have some concept about God, So what should be our perspective while chanting Ram Nam? We have come to that stage. Because Ram Nam has become a part of our life, there is no problem. By His supreme grace, though we don't know that is by His supreme grace, we are telling this word supreme grace because Papa makes us to say that, that's all. He facilitated in such a way that we happen to hear Ram Nam and then we happen to develop our taste towards Ram Nam, and now it is automatic, without much strain. Nama comes to us, either at the vocal level or at the silent level or at the mental level. Everything is perfect, but still we find there is no change in the concept of me and mine. I am still confining myself to the body, mind, intellect, equipment only. Again I go back to Papa, I am chanting Ram Nam. Yeah, you are chanting Ram Nam, but you should know you are not chanting the name of anything other than you. Oh. Now you start thinking, now you start contemplating while chanting or in between chanting or whatever you feel like, that you are chanting the name of your own self. Ram is your self, the power because of which you know you are. So you are not searching for God anywhere outside. So you know you are searching. You are made to search because He makes you to search. Why did he do that? We cannot question. So now the stage has come for us to make use of, really understand the word password. So far we have been chanting, it has not been serving as a password. So if you have to enter into the inner chambers, I need the password. Now only I came to know that it can become a password only if it is chanted with the right perspective. These are some other words, Then we have to free ourselves from, what we have to free ourselves from is the illusion which makes us think we are the body. Then we will realize we are the Atman. For example, when a man is asleep, we gently move his limbs to bring him back to wakefulness. And after waking up, he becomes aware of himself. You are under an illusion. You have only to wake up. Only to wake up. And be aware of the Atman which you really are. How simple and how easy. Long, protracted, tedious sadhana is not necessary. After all, you have not to gain anything new. You have only to know you are the self. There is another way. Okay, what is that? Go beyond or behind nature. Be a witness of your body, senses, intellect, which comprise your nature. Then you will know that you are the Atman, the immortal. That too is simple. Everything is simple for you. Dissociate yourself from the body. Identify yourself with the Atman. We live and act in the belief that we are the body. Let us live in the world as before, but not considering ourselves to be the body. Movements do remain, but you know that you are the self. You have a body, and that body is active. You are the inactive Atman, witnessing the actions of your Prakriti. Many people think that if the ego disappears, the body will cease to function. That is wrong. You cannot stop the activities of your nature. Creation, preservation, destruction. These three movements of the same power will be going on in the universe. But who are you? You are not the body which is perishable, changing. You are the immortal Atman, birthless, deathless, and therefore changeless. Know that you are the self, and then be active. What is the point in saying you should be active? You cannot but be active. The divine Shakti ever acts in and through you, so long as the body lasts. So another way is to witness. So Ramnam chanting enables us in so many ways. So all these point out to us that merely chanting will not help. Chanting will help, but merely chanting will not help. It doesn't mean we should stop, no. We should add something more now. Each one will think, no, Papa is facilitating us to hear all these things. What should be the attitude while chanting? You are chanting the name of your own self. Immediately after that, hearing, we are back to square one. Then he says you try to understand, you try to develop the witness consciousness. Even the chanting is going on, we become aware of the chanting. The chanting can be made use of for that purpose. to somehow dissociate, his own words, dissociate with the conditioning, upadhi, the body, mind, intellect, equipment, the sense of individuality. So now he makes us understand one of the methods could be to dissociate ourselves with. How can we dissociate? When we keep apart from it. So when we chant Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Initially the mind may go here and there. Then we are trying to consciously chant. Then the chanting is being heard. Chanting is being known. That means there is a knowing principle in us which makes us feel we are chanting. What is that? So that is why in the meditation he says that mental chanting will be helpful, because it is easy. The chances of the mind going here and there are limited in mental chanting. And mental chanting is preferable when we are alone. So collective chanting, let it all go like this. We need not change anything. But even while when we are vocally chanting, if we can try to develop the witness consciousness there, then probably we are moving towards the goal. So we have to pull the mind from so many things. Initially when we were going through Papa's board, these thoughts started coming up. You started chanting not in a collective forum. You started chanting individually, So there were though initially there were some problems, the concentration was easy for you. But when we sit in a collective forum, chances are more, we are opening our eyes, we are seeing who is chanting, who is not chanting, whose chanting is melodious, whose chanting is not melodious. This accompaniment is very nice, this accompaniment is not good. Mind is not. Where does it get the chance to witness its own chanting? Whereas in the case of Papa, he was chanting alone. He used to have a separate room in his old house where he used to chant. 22 hours out of 24 hours means because the exclusiveness. So he says it was very easy for him. To us it is not. Because we have not trained our mind to do individual chanting. We are satisfied with the collective chanting. No doubt, initially, that is how we all learn. We are not belittling the importance. But now when the second stage or the third stage has to be reached, while involving ourselves in collective chanting, we have to do more and more individual chanting and try to develop this witness consciousness. That is what we could surmise from what all we have heard from Papa now. Our fundamental question gets answered only by going through all this, What happens when I sit for a Ramnam session along with others? What is happening to me? What happens when I sit alone and do? Even though the mind may go initially, when we try practice this mental chanting, at least for some time, the knowing principle slowly emerges. Here in our morning session, Some devotees used to come and say, for a fraction of a second or for some time, we were away from everything. It is because during the individual chanting time. So we have to carry on with both. In order that we don't lose interest, we don't lose the same, tempo, we have to have collective. But we know now its limitation, so we have to add this individual chanting also. Individual chanting to develop the witness consciousness. And then we slowly start developing it. As he said, while walking, while waiting, while wherever there is an interval for the mind, the witness consciousness will emerge. You know that you are walking. You know that you are seeing. You know that you are hearing. Slowly, it comes to stay with us. So today's reading gives us that light. Very clear. Do not take the name thinking that the name is of one who is far away from you, of one who is other than you. This is how we try to make use of the Nama as a password for chanting. The password to connect to the divine within. Of course, it is highly subjective, no doubt. But very important as a sadhaka, very important that we should know all these things. That is why Papa chose this particular text and makes us to dwell on it with all seriousness. Hammering on our head. You are chanting the name of your own self. You are not chanting the name of one who is away from you, who is other than you. So now we pray to Him. Kindly enable us to pursue our path with whatever you have given now. You have to empower us, enable us. We cannot try because our mind is habituated to certain other things. So you have to step in, intervene, and then somehow please. So with that we will have 3 times of Ram Nam again. Now when we chant Ram Nam, we will make a beginning. To have this in our mental background. We are unable to, so far we have not been able to bring in this dimension while chanting. Today you chose to make us aware of it seriously. So, at the moment you are away from me. But you have been gracious enough to make me aware that you are within me. You have been gracious enough to make me intellectually know that without you I cannot exist. And so in order to know that you are, your will, your power is working through me, you have made me to repeat your name. So kindly enable us to sustain this feeling. Slowly, gradually you train now, please. Time is running out. We have to catch. So we have to hurry up. By ourselves we cannot. You should provide. So a fervent prayer from the bottom of the heart will definitely draw his attention, and then he will take us gradually to the goal. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, जय राम जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम 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 जय राम जय जय राम